right. Hello, greetings, Woodstockians. I am Star reporting live for you. Actually, I shouldn't say just Woodstockers. We're globally televising ourselves right now, so we're really having some epic moments here. And I'm just so pleased to be here with you. You know, to be a cheerleader, to just keep rocking out like the star God made you. And we have a delightful show as always because we care so much about you and want you to have the best and know what's going on. So we've got some lovely guests. We got our ecologically green Philip here to, you know, still encourage us to go pesticide free, as well as we have Joanne and Melissa, who are going to be sharing with us their awesome art ventures in Woodstock. They're going to be doing an art festival, the weekend of the movie festival. So you artists, you art lovers, this is for you. And we also got this gentleman, Gregory, who's doing a pilgrimage, and his pilgrimage to Woodstock, and perhaps talk about some of his adventures, etc. And then perhaps we'll get blessed with our shining raw food Sean, who, you know, as we know, glowing light out there. So maybe he'll come and grace us. And so now this is the right camera. We're here together. So anyways, I was in Boston this past weekend upon my travels. And there's a couple things that I was intrigued by and actually brought them just for you because, you know, we're here for you. So I thought this was kind of an interesting thing. It's called an eco-container. Now it seems pretty insignificant, I would say, but I thought it was pretty cool that the reality is that unlike other cups, this container cup is made from fully renewable resources. So I'm hoping this will inspire some of our entrepreneurs in Woodstock to do this because I think it's really cool. I'm not sure how much more they cost or whatever, but I think this kind of makes a statement about your consciousness, and so something to think about, something maybe to put into effect. And then I thought I picked up this because, you know, being more of a city environment, there's certain things, and the zip car. And I'm thinking, you know, we should have some zip cars up here because a lot of people who maybe just need a car, you know, and so this is something too to consider. I don't know if those of you, but you basically rent a car for a day. It's a clean, efficient car. Anyways, zip car. So I'm just putting out some like ideas for you guys. And while I was on my way back from my travels, I came upon this article that I thought was also pretty interesting, and it's talking about an actual rise in female farmers. Organic farming specifically is rising up, and I thought that was kind of interesting. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Pennsylvania lost 2,000 farms between 1997 and 2002, but gained 1,000 farms operated by women. That's very interesting. I wonder, as you know, the article doesn't really talk about this, but I wonder if these are a lot of moms who are thinking about, well, what is their kids eating, and what are the kids out there eating? So, anyways, this is an actual documentary that this put. What do people do all day? And that's a children's book. And wait, where's the documentary? La la la. Here I am. Okay. So this is why we're live, because we're just, you know, giving it to you, you know. So anyways, I thought it was just taking a pitchfork to the glass ceiling. So there's this lovely lady, and the whole, basically, something to inquire further about, guys. But anyways, I think that was a really inspiring point that, you know, people are now a field producer for World Focus, a new NBC international news program. This woman trekked to Egypt to explore desert farming and to Brazil to examine sugarcane ethanol. Been to Brazil, and that really is awesome. The sugarcane is really a good thing. So it's closer to home. Ladies of the Land exposes, this is what the movie's called, got the name for you, exposes the economic struggles of small-scale organic farmers who peddle veggies at health food stores and outdoor markets in Brooklyn and Manhattan. And so, anyways, something to check out, Ladies of the Land. And also, as a Woodstocker, we were, today was the last day of the farmer market, and I just want to applaud the farmers market people out there, all those folks who really put a lot of energy for us to make this happen, make our community feel more of a community, because it is people like you that we are thinking about. Don't be a zombie, man. Educate, expand. We're here to help you expand. Move the horizons, okay? And it starts with you because you're organic and you're wonderful. Wow, this is really going on. Okay, I think it's on the... All right. Well, in this epic moment, let us take a moment to pray for all those people out there because as you know the other day, we had an assignment to pray for peace. So I hope you were doing your job assignment, okay? Very small, only a minute, 2 seconds. But now, as we're like, getting, the mic warmed up and, I think we got maybe our friend Gregory, and we're going to come on down. Well, I'm spilling over my Eco Container cup. And maybe he'll come on down and share with us his lovely adventures in Woodstock and perhaps a global perspective.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. And I'll get the flag out of your way because, but greetings.
Greetings.
Hello, Gregory.
Gregory.
Yes.
Yes, I come from Western Massachusetts, a little town called Shelburne Falls, which is a cultural mecca, not unlike Woodstock. Mm-hmm. I'm a freelance journalist. I wrote for a community weekly newspaper.
Yeah.
And after 30 years, it sold in August. And I had the opportunity to join the ranks of the new newspaper, the new reincarnation of this paper. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I covered a lot of the arts and entertainment section, did a lot of politics. I had
what did you like to do the most personally?
Arts and entertainment. I like to go find the artists who were living in the hills, and it was just always a challenge in finding what they were doing and getting really into society and getting into their faces. And I just enjoyed going to the gallery openings and stuff like that. But I also covered. I had the opportunity to cover when Deval Patrick, our governor, was on the campaign trail. I had numerous interviews with him. I had dinner with Deval and breakfast, but not in that order. And,
okay, question mark. Okay.
The dinner was a fundraiser. There were other people.
Okay,
it was
all
a big
right.
orgy.
New witnesses. Okay, yeah, that's good.
I covered the Massachusetts Democratic Convention in 2006, and that was a real kicker. Kitty Dukakis walked right up to me. I was sitting in the press box.
Were you wearing this hat too? Were you wearing this lovely magicical?
I was not.
Okay,
this is for you. And Kitty Dukakis walked right up to me and shook my hand, and I felt like the young groupie who said, "I'm never going to wash his hand again." But of course, then I covered the Republicans, and I had to wash my hand. And then I went to Washington, D.C. and covered the inauguration of the 110th Congress, and that was a blast. So the paper sold. What am I doing here? In 2006, 2 years ago, this month, I was listening to WAMC in Albany, and they were talking about the Liminal World Conference at the Colony Cafe here in Woodstock, and I thought, I'd really like to go to this thing. They were talking about psychedelic visionary Daniel Pinchbeck talking here, and I didn't make it to that, but what fascinated me, see, I'm not here for the classical reasons. That Liminal World Conference, that was the thing for me. I thought, here they're talking about other things, but they're talking about the validity of the psychedelic experience, and who really talks about that without saying, we're going to fix you, we're going to cure you of that. But here they're validating it, among other things. It's consciousness exploration and the evolution of consciousness. It's not like taking drugs. It's about
expanding your point of view in that,
it's about making this better, the flag, and making it what it really should be.
The stars and stripes of love, yes, and freedom.
So here I have some time. My plans were to move to Miami, and I got sort of waylaid, and I won't be going till October. Got into a little trouble, but nothing I can't handle.
We won't go into that story, or maybe we will. Okay, maybe they're on
the foot. No, it's nothing. But I had some time to, what I really wanted to do was visit somewhere, the Northeast, that I hadn't been to. I've been to Cape Cod and all points in Vermont, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. But for me, Woodstock was a kind of a pilgrimage. I really wanted to come here for personal reasons and plunked myself into the town and write and talk to people. And so what happened? I hitchhiked here. And right off the bat, I got a ride with a guy who took me to his house and introduced me to his homeschooled kids. He gave me money. He gave me a Google map to figure out how to get here. All these other people picked me up.
So when it's right, it's right. That's when you know something is right. It's just like the door is just open.
All these people had something going on in their life too. I mean, there was a Korean War vet. I mean, there were different people. There was a guy who looked like Death Warmed Over. Korean invasion, thank you. And so a series of 5 rides, and I was here in like just a couple hours. It took me no time at all. And one guy walked by and said, "You'll just as soon meet the Almighty as get a ride here." And then the light turned red and traffic backed up, and this guy in a truck said, "Well, why don't you take a break and hop in?" So I hopped in.
That's
and
awesome.
He gave me a ride. Oh, not only did they give me a ride to 32 and 212, but he said, "Did you ever see the grounds of the 25th Woodstock Festival?" And then he turned around and zipped through the field.
Oh, beautiful. That's
cool. So then this guy, Cliff, picked me up in a Lincoln Town car.
Cliff, if you're watching, you're getting some air.
Yeah, Cliff. This was great. So then Cliff is talking about, he drops me off at the green. I don't know anything about Woodstock. And he starts talking about THC oil is a cure for cancer. THC oil is a cure for cancer. And I go, yeah, well, of course, why not? If it cures cancer, you know.
Yeah.
You know, why shouldn't they withhold it? So he lets me out of the car. I get on the green, and right away, this woman is singing, "Hey, big brother, I'm watching you. Hey, big brother, I've got my eye on you." And her name was Abigail Storm. Citizens Against
Marijuana Prohibition.
Thank you.
Activists of Woodstock, very steady to make this a reality.
So I talked to her, and she was promoting this THC oil for cancer. So, like, I really believe in Jungian principle of the collective unconscious impinging on reality. So all these things, you know, I can connect the dots. How I ended up in Woodstock. There were a series of connected events, acausal events. They didn't have any cause in physics. You know, there was nothing in the weather patterns that brought this together, but it was social connections, and I just connected the dots. And that is what I'm doing here. And it's been an adventure. One thing, when I go into towns, I look at, and I can't help notice, this is me.
Oh, yeah, what do you observe?
Yes, I observe
observations.
The older society that's been here against, like, the new people coming in. And there's always this contrast and often a conflict, and it's wherever you go. It's all over. It's not just Woodstock, but it's where I live in Massachusetts, Vermont. You have people moving from metro regions, and they're bringing, you know, their money with them and building and all this. And, you know, I'm not really judging what is right and what's wrong about it, but I do see it, and I see it here, and it's just very interesting for me. I can't draw any conclusions.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because I grew up here, and it's been interesting to observe, you know, the changes. I mean, I remember as a kid, I could count the amount of nice cars that people would drive in Woodstock, because I lived right in town, so my bus stop would be right on the Village Green, and I remember just, you know, waiting for the bus, watching it. I remember like, oh, that person got a new car, but it was like, you know, not many. It wasn't a big thing. And I remember meeting someone not too long ago, and they, you know, were talking about that. And he's like, oh, that's really funny, you know, because I would keep my nice car home and drive my crappy car to town. And it's a very European sense of status, you know what I mean? Because when I was in Europe and I was in Switzerland specifically, this older man, me and my friend talking to, and he was like, people here, they'll hide their Mercedes behind, you know, closed doors, but everyone will drive in their Volvo or whatever, you know, the regular car. So it's an interesting, but now what we're experiencing is a different shift, you know. This is, you know, it's been a long time since I grew up here. So now it's like people who are very, you know, very open about their status. And not that that's a bad thing, but it's just, but as, you know, knowing the store owners and knowing people who are making up this town, it's like, there's the dependency too, because not everybody's going to go to these local stores and spend more money, you know. So we're in and you know, some of these people are my friends who have these stores, and with the economy and stuff, and yet at the same time, a lot of these people that are coming into town are not even buying stuff here. They're going. My one friend said they're going to Adams, they're going to grocery stores and getting cheaper groceries to bring, you know, back to the city. So it's an interesting. It's interesting dichotomy, but at the same time, I think as just lover of people, you know, it's, you know, I can understand people want to bring their kids here, bring their reality. People are nice here, they're friendly, you know. I guess the whole thing is if we can just leave our little attitudes, but anywhere we are, you know, it's not just closed down to this town. It's just if we can have that consciousness to be, you know.
Well, I've been talking to you know, multiple sets of people, and maybe one out of every 3 person brushes me off or has some problem, and I know that I can come on a little bit strong sometimes, and I have to be very sensitive to people's situations.
It's a transient town, though, so you have to understand. There's lots of transients, people coming in. So often people are like cautious to, that's.
I've been talking to transients too, transient people, homeless people, and I really want to know people who come in, especially young people. Right. They come into Woodstock. Where do they live? One young man told me we live in the woods. This other person tried to get me to stay with him for 4 days, and he wanted money for cigarettes and stuff, and I didn't feel comfortable with that, so I looked around, but I am also touched emotionally by people who don't have the means to really enjoy that $4 small vanilla ice cream cone that I paid for tonight, that I can't get out of my system. But I will.
Eventually.
So writing, my other thing here is that because it's an art and cultural kind of mecca, I think that this is a good environment for me to surround myself with the right environment, the right kind of people. It's a great literary kind of environment, and I think I need that because, quite honestly, where I live in Massachusetts, I'm surrounded by some really redneck type people, and it's very difficult, when you have a neighbor who says he doesn't read and too much knowledge is bad, and he doesn't let his kids read, and
Be a Christian.
he burns tires in his backyard, and I can just smell it.
Okay, Philip, I love it. Okay.
Well, I'm not, and I used to be very, I used to also be rather vocal about religion and organized religion. However, and then, Bush, the faith-based initiatives and all that, we know
a real true Christian out there, right? Yeah.
But, however...
That's what you have to say. Evangelical, religionist.
It's unfair. The thing is unfair when you talk.
However,
and they come out of all way to work.
And I agree with that in principle. However, I have also discovered that religious organizations give a lot, like food pantries and things like that. And so I don't really want to take away
between the religious and the religionist.
Right, we can talk a little bit, because you're on the video camera, so it's a little unfair to the total audience to have that whole.
I just got off on that, but I just wanted to know.
No, it's okay. We're all about getting off on the topic. So we're Wayne's World.
Religious plurality is a good thing, as long as we're allowed to do what we're allowed to do. So
the most common bond is respect thyself, be inquisitive.
All right, I love you, and you're going to go on a few minutes. You're going to go on a few minutes.
Whether you're an atheist, an agnostic, or a religious
this is
person, it's your
I don't mind controversy, by the way.
Oh, neither do I. I'm just saying what happens with the show is it kind of gets a little, if everyone's seeing him, it gets a little unfair, then that's why. So that's why. But I want to just, while we have him, because he's going to be coming on and having his opportunity to share his views. So I was just curious, as a storyteller, just with your recent little adventures, have you felt inclined to write about these stories, your Cliff story? I mean, all these little events to lead yourself?
Yes, I have been writing about it. I do write on a blog, and I write continuously. I carry my writing tools with me wherever I go, and I came here to write, and every spare moment I write. I'm staying in a little sort of a cloistered environment, a cloistered room where there's no television or radio or anything. I didn't even bring any books. I was going to bring Proust's Swan's Way just for something to read, but even in the absence of reading what somebody else wrote, all you have to do is write, and it forces me to open that journal and write, and I've written anything and everything. I met so many great people in this town, and I write about everybody. The less fortunate. By the way, my writing style, I'm not out to put anybody down or bring anybody down. I'm not that kind of expository journalist where I'm going to expose the town government, that's cheating and whatever. I'm always really looking for something to promote, and if I can't promote that individual in some way, or that business, or that work, if it doesn't really touch me, if it doesn't move me, I'm inclined not to write about it. I have covered some unsavory kinds of, just because sometimes they give you assignments, go cover this thing that happened.
It's good to give, I got reviewed by Woodstock Times, and I'm a local who moved back to the area, and I was amazed that I got a review for my show pre to anybody actually looking at my work, and I was pretty blown away. I've been reviewed in Boston Globe and other well-respected papers, and when I came here to share the work, it was like, wait a minute, and I couldn't even understand it, because, as a journalist, I'm not a journalist, but I'm all about the truth, getting out there, so it's like, it seems to me, as a photographer, that's my job, so it seems to me that as a journalist, that would be the job, hopefully, but again, those are assumptions we make about people's moral code and where they're coming from, so it's kind of nice to hear the perspective that you have, is like, you try to, obviously, people reveal who they are in an interview. This is the truth. Right. So you don't really almost have to say much. But that's good to kind of get that. I'm not,
Well, my editor said, sometimes you run across, especially in politics, people who are really, you just don't like them and what they stand for and how they're treating their colleagues and things like that. And I was told, rather than editorialize, just let them be themselves. Let them say and put their foot in the mouth and just write it down. And sometimes that's enough. And with that, you give people the benefit of the doubt that the reporter should give the reader the benefit of the doubt that they have the intelligence and the wherewithal to draw conclusions based on a set of facts without editorializing too much.
No, I agree. That's really odd. So have you always carried a journal just as a perspective of a writer?
Oh, no. As I was telling young Master Philip over there, I worked in a cubicle. I was making great money in Syracuse, working for an environmental engineering company, but their idea...
in the box.
I was in the box. My boss said, if I haven't made you feel bad at the end of the day, I haven't done my job. So I moved back to Massachusetts after they, new board of directors and Clippy,
you're out of your box now.
You're out of your box, you can fly. And while I was contemplating my next move, I have always been a writer, always, just didn't get paid for it. So I went
ever since you were a kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's me.
It's in your blood.
It doesn't, that's correct. It has nothing to do with occupation.
Oh, no, I don't.
So I went to a newspaper, and the editor took a chance on me. I said, I want to write human interest stories, restaurant reviews and that kind of thing. And she sort of tricked me into covering town politics, and I use a sort of colorful expression, the way a porn star is tricked into a triple penetration.
Okay, so for you visual people out there, let's continue.
But I found I didn't like it, and they put me immediately in the only town in Massachusetts that had an atomic plant, a nuclear power plant. In this town, 97% of their tax base was subsidized by this atomic plant.
Wait, what's the township?
The town of Rowe, R-O-W-E, Rowe.
That's where
all right.
Rockefellers have some biggest state.
Probably. Oh, so here I am. I found myself without an assignment and without a deadline. I packed my backpack. I hitchhiked to Woodstock, and I'm here enjoying it. I really want to write about stuff that makes me feel good. I don't want to get into, the hard edge political stuff as much anymore. I just want to get into people, vis-a-vis human beings on the street and
find out. So you see Gregory, guys, don't be shy. Talk to the guy. He wants to know about that. So it's an opportunity.
And I don't have any more money, so I can't give it to you anymore.
So, but hey, it seems like God's blessing you thus far, according to the trip.
Thank you.
It seems to me that you're, going to be in good hands.
I feel like I'm in good hands.
You got to keep shining, as always, and thank you for your positive pilgrimage vibes.
Okay,
and I think we got some other lovely faces. You're good, and then maybe we're going to bring up. Do you want an economist? Do you want to come on up and vocalize yourself? All right, Mr. Gregory, it's a total pleasure. Keep shining on your pilgrimage of life.
Will do.
All right, we got our transitions, got our fade outs, we got our fade ins. Okay, come on down to the ecologically right. What time is it? It's time
It's the ecologically green economist time. Here in the valley, in the mountains, at the foot of the light fall. Here in the land of Rip Van Winkle, here in the land of the headless horseman, here in the land of the proud Americans, flying the flag as it should be flown. Here at the fork in the road, are you bored with being a member of the local cancer, diabetes, etc. societies? Then by all means, stay tuned. Take a deep breath. I've got a further question. Are you a religious agnostic or an atheist person who takes the time to see many perspectives, opening and open to listening to other views, interrupting only for clarification of a statement, and then entering into dialogue after listening constructively of other perspectives? Do you, with caution, give the benefit of doubt to other perspectives? Do you believe that environmentally green economies will blossom new horizons in the God's ship of humanity? Then yes, you too are a religious person. Yeah, and I welcome you. To my religionist viewers, do you accept sickness as penance in this lifetime down here, one nation under God? Are you ready, willing, and able to conquer evil and believe that zero tolerance of the law as the most direct avenue to a righteous society? Do you believe that Sarah Palin and John McCain are our only path to freedom because the world is in a state of fear, which is respect for the Lord? I welcome you to, and remind you that the birthday of your Christ the Lord is January 1st, acknowledging the Son of God, born of virgin birth by cesarean section, having no association with that one that came to be known as Jesus by the bleached ones, brought into this world by a Jewish mother who was his father when she was the FAT pregnant her. Man is a sperm supplier with the potential to be a daddy, but never the father. That is reserved only to the pregnant her. Now, just what is a religionist of the Christian right, and what do they have to do with pesticide poisoning?
Tell us.
One thing that we know for sure, a pit bull is to be feared, even on a leash. A Christian of the Lord, soccer mom with lipstick, proud to be a pit bull image, is a baby manufacturer in the service of Christ the Lord, ready, willing, and able to arouse Christ's military forces. Ora momento. Excuse me. Administering justice down here in the name of God in heaven, who alone offers mercy when your body dies, and only when your body dies. To the religionists, justice in their Lord's earthly kingdom is to instill fear as respect for the letter of the law enforcement. The Sarah Palin's associate. Yeah. Does Sarah Palin's associate carry with him the image of the religionist biblical Cain, willing to carry forth the image of Harry Truman when he said, "The buck stops here"? and proceeded to authorize the end of World War II. Day 2, as already written, and the dropping of 2 different styles of atomic bombs, both neutron and atomic. We're here at the fork in the road. Are we going to put in the footings for the foundation? The footings are pesticide-free zones. The foundation you want to build, you build environmentally friendly. And the home, the farm's converted to ecologically green. Ecologically green as in the $1 trillion fad to pay off our debts quickly. A cycle of 5. A cycle of 5. Thank you and good evening, folks. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Mr. Ecologically Green, and I hope, take in mind the latter part of what he talked about, which is we really can make this happen, pesticide-free. This is the trend globally, and it should definitely be a trend within our community. Why not? This is ridiculous if it isn't. So I now, in your seats right now, give a little applause. We got some lovely folks coming up, Joanne and Melissa, and they're going to be sharing with us their awesome art attack on Woodstock. So I welcome you to come on down and share your lovely light, ladies.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Great. How are you doing? Greetings. Welcome.
Good to be here.
Introduce yourselves here. You've been on before. She's a lovely artist.
Thanks. I'm Joanne Sullivan, and this is Melissa Sullivan.
Hello, lovely to have you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. It's been such an honor to have your presence here in Woodstock and expanding some opportunities for us artists. So
Absolutely, and that's what we wanted to come and talk about. We have a festival of the arts. You can see that.
And do a little close-up there.
You're going to be seeing these around town.
Cool graphics or what? Very simple, but I think it's sweet. And the little peace signs we got, guys. So what is this festival about then? And obviously it's about the arts, but what is it that your vision is to share with us?
Well, it's connecting the arts. So because the creative people have a common ground is that thread of creativity, and their thought process is different than the average person, which anybody who is around a artist or artisan or writer or musician knows that,
Yeah.
So we want to explore that for the community and give the artists some exposure.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so we're going to have live music, along with artists like myself, doing demonstrations of their craft, book signings.
Wonderful.
And we're also going to have a Shakespeare reading by
lovely. As Ellie and
Dean Schomburg.
Okay, good.
He'll be reciting Shakespeare.
Oh, this is lovely. We need some thespian culture for us loves, right? We're here to expand, absolutely. Our minds, our spirits. This is good. So
the mind, the body.
So this is really great in collaboration. Obviously, the film festival is coming right up, guys. So they're really smart to have it on the same day or the same weekend. Excuse me. So while your guys are bopping around checking out the cool films, you can check out some of our local artists and give out some support. And is there still an opportunity for artists to feature their work here?
Absolutely.
Or what?
Anybody who would like to participate can contact me or Joanne at 845-246-5424, or you can go to our website,
Daydreams in Nature.
DaydreamsInNature.com.
And go to the Happenings page.
The Happenings. It's happening. It's happening right now. So you better get tuned in now, guys. So when's the deadline? When's the deadline of us, the artists?
Well, we're kind of filling up, but as long as we have a space, The point of this show is it's a very minimal fee for the artists.
Okay.
And Melissa and I have just worked very hard
I'm sure.
in promoting it and promoting the local art community.
Awesome.
We've been volunteering a lot of time and effort into this.
This is great,
So,
guys. You know, all for because and you guys just came into the area not too long ago, right? I mean, how long?
Right. It'll be 2 years for us in November.
This is so great, and you've just been really moved being here to start, expanding because you do more gallery scene, right?
I do.
So
I do personally,
Yeah.
And I have a studio in Saugerties.
Because Melissa was telling me a little bit about the vision you had to just, take that step. Well, you know what? Rather than being in the gallery world, why not, do more outside stuff and different ways to get,
I think people, the general public, wants to make that connection.
Absolutely.
They don't necessarily just want to buy a piece of artwork. They want the story behind it.
It's so
they want the experience
absolutely
of the art.
I believe it. I had a couple take me out to lunch one day after they bought one of my pieces, and it was very fascinating for me that they were so fascinated with me. It was the curiosity. But it's true. People are investing in you. So as an artist, I think it's
an opportunity for people to invest directly to the artist. There's a $25 fee and 10% proceeds go,
that's wonderful.
So
it's very nominal. That's so nominal, guys. I mean, sometimes
it is nominal.
I've done some festivals where they charge
very
whatever
high
amount,
$300 to $1,000 easy.
Easy. And that's no guarantee to anything.
Exactly.
That's nothing.
We're hosting it at the Playhouse. With the concept of bringing all the arts together. There's theater there where we're having it on the grounds.
Awesome.
We're having
they're non-for-profit.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So the proceeds, 50% of the proceeds are donated to the Playhouse.
It's any regional artist.
Okay.
So
if we got some YouTubers out there, this is for you.
Absolutely.
All right, Philip, you may have your gig. All right, here we are.
We want people just to experience it as a whole.
That's beautiful.
To walk over, to watch the artist's work, to meet an author, to see a performance, to see some live music, and just walk away with a better understanding. And it's free for the public because we want them to come in. We want them to purchase from the vendors and from the artists themselves directly. So, especially in this economy, it's very difficult for the artists to kind of make it. And
just even our international exposure. People look at. I did a festival not so long ago, and it was like you're looking at artwork that's equivalent almost to Walmart. People are like, they're not going to want to spend that much money, and it's just this whole, it's really changed a lot of the viewpoints people, it's craft because it does cost even money to make a lot of the art. Sometimes people have a hard time to understand, but
it does. It's the burden of the artist to supply the materials, to spend their time working on the
vision,
and then put it together as a product, and then bring it out, and the galleries get 40-50% typically, and the artists have to pay for it. If they're putting on a show, the artists usually pay for all the framing, for all the materials, for all their time. It's a huge investment on their part.
Absolutely.
And so this is an opportunity for them to meet the public. We did this in July, and everybody was just. The public was happy about it.
I grew up here my whole life, and this has never happened. So as far as I'm concerned, this is really a thirsty town, quenching for, some action. Growing up here, it's amazing. All these artists, and yet you don't really know what everybody does. Everybody's in their mountain house doing the art, but you're not. Each person's a piece of art, don't get me wrong, but you're not always connecting to what they're creating. So I think this is a really nice opportunity. And, bringing out the kids, and bringing out the older people, and bringing out your loved ones and everybody, because this is a privilege, to be in a community where we have art as a focus. So I also, I did one art show, and I had a solo gallery show, and the interesting part was that I had one of my relatives who was in her 40s, and my art show was the first gallery and opening they'd ever been to in their whole life. Wow. And it was such an eye-opener for me because my dad used to do sculpture, so when I was a kid, I used to go to all these galleries as a child. And really, I guess I took it for granted, honestly, until I started to go out in the world. And I invited people to go to some art opening I had, and people asked me if it cost money just to have some food and like some drink and check out some work. So again, growing up in a community such as this, we could forget, the privilege. And I think this is so awesome that you guys came here and that you've really been inspired to follow on the dream that was planted here. And the dream was to keep going to different communities. So this is an opportunity, guys. And also you have some other things. Let's share with me what this is about.
This is followed by the studio tour, which I'm also helping promote. So once people come to the outdoor show here and meet some of the artists, they actually can go on these dates. That's October 18th and 19th, from I believe 11 to 5 p.m. And they can go see where the artists work.
Is there a
what
map?
their studio? There's a map they can get at the Chamber of Commerce. They can go on their website, or they can go to the booth in town.
Excellent.
And I think Westwood also has maps there.
Wonderful.
And they get it like they give out a snack, and they give it like it's like a little treasure map.
Why not? This is what it's about.
And then you can see
so
what they do in their studios, what their studios look like, and their whole see more of their process.
It's really exciting.
colonist of the coming 21st century in January.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
The Gregorian century starts in January.
Yeah. There's a lot of history here.
It's awesome. These mountains are oozing it for sure.
Yeah, it's a great community.
Yeah,
a lot of it feels like family, that family community of artisans.
That's wonderful.
And it's inspiring, and we inspire each other at the show.
That's great. You guys are inspiring me that you guys are so active and really letting your light shine. I think that this is so important.
And this is only the beginning. We're going to be doing
the
more
beginning.
events.
Stay tuned.
The
The art attack is descending upon Woodstock. Be prepared, folks. And another question in regards, you were telling me too, you got some good PR. So this is going to be, I think, what were you saying? You had some.
Yeah, About Town. We're on their website.
Cool.
The I Love New York people have contacted
I Love
us.
New York. This is an I Love New York event. Would you agree?
Yes, it is I Love New York event. Many publications and the radio stations were on all the listings.
Good going, guys.
And we
Bravo.
just printed up a whole bunch of these, and we're going to be putting them all over the place, plus doing some mailings.
Awesome. This is like a dedication of love here. So if you're an artist, I think you should be a part of this and be a part of their monumental thing here, because they're only just beginning, and so this is a good opportunity for you to let your light shine. And you could be any age. If you are a high school student, or is this? Is that? I mean, obviously you want a certain level of art. That's a fine art, but
we want professional artists that are really established.
Okay,
and,
that's good to know. All right, so maybe not this show.
No.
Or emerging.
We want emerging art.
Oh, okay.
See, the thing is, it's very difficult to make it in the art world.
Yes.
And everybody needs encouragement and exposure.
Yes.
And so there's so much rejection going on.
You have to have tough skin.
You do. So it is an opportunity for young up-and-coming artists to exhibit also, to get some exposure for their work, and it's up to the public. What they never know what they're going to find there. They mix Picasso or
this is great.
Van Gogh, or you don't know.
You really don't. So, it's like flavors of ice cream. Maybe your flavor people will like, guys.
Yeah.
So come and share. It takes a lot of guts to do this. It's definitely not for wusses. So I ask you to stand strong and shine your light on in their program. I think this is really wonderful. I'm so delighted, and to check out this artist walk, because this is a little bit of an insider view.
It is.
So
we'll
Mr. Greg is interested in these Woodstockers. This could be an interesting little project. And so I thank you so much, ladies. Is there anything else you want to share? Is there any volunteers?
Anybody want to volunteer? Contact us as well.
Okay, okay, great. Yeah, this is
Yeah, and it's going to be when? Saturday and Sunday?
It's Saturday and Sunday, October 4th and 5th.
Next weekend.
Rain or shine?
Rain or shine.
Okay. Hopefully shine, but if it's rain,
nice
maybe the umbrellas will be out, and the artists will still be shining. Shine is the word.
Yeah.
No matter rain or shine.
Hopefully we'll have good weather.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I so thank you guys for coming down here and expressing to us your awesomeness. because they truly are awesome, because it's about making it happen. That's what we're talking about, and not the jive, but let's talk about reality.
It's the fertilizer.
So now, talk about fertilizer, talk about, expanding ourselves in nutrition. I think we can only but say there's one guy out there.
It's the spinach and pumpkin.
The shining raw guy. He's whole food all the way. So I welcome, I thank you ladies for coming upon, and come again, and we'll have you soon to share with us all of your awesome new adventures for Woodstock, and I congratulate you and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You keep shining on, guys. All right, Mr. Raw Foods, bro. Bring up your board and your marker and educate, expand us. And check this out, guys. This is totally worth your time. Completely worth your time. It is worthy of you. It is worthy for you. Okay.
Right.
Wait, want me to be your board holder? Yeah. I'll be your remote for you. I'll be better for you.
Alright.
So,
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Raw Food 101. Okay. Here we go. Today I have a really nice recipe. It's like a big salad, but it's like, instead of lettuce, we have like dark greens, like kale. And it's like a meal salad, so it's like you can eat it, and it's like filling. It's got like seeds and different things. So I had a good idea. I figured I'd write it on a board, make it easy for everybody to understand. So this way you could take the recipe, and you can make it in your own home. And alright, so let's get started. Alright, so do I have my assistant here?
Yes, I'm coming. I'm playing multiple roles here.
Alright,
But
cool.
I'm here to support you.
Alright, here we go. Alright.
Alright.
So for our greens, it's going to be like a really rich salad. It's like a meal salad. It's like, so we got greens. And for the greens,
so we got what
we're gonna choose
the salad.
Salad.
The bright. Do you have a title? You're a mover and shaker.
This is
life salad?
I'd say it's like a green life salad. Okay. Yeah, let's call it the green life salad.
Okay, green life salad.
Yeah.
Let's be specific. Every recipe's got a name. All right, I'm sorry.
Absolutely,
so continue.
Sure. So the recipe is, we're gonna have one bunch of kale. So we're gonna just like you tear like you get the kale leaf and you just rip off the leaves, and you can take the stems and you can snack on them later or juice them so you can save them. You can dip them in things. So you get you get a big bowl, and you tear it off. You put all the kale in the bowl, and then you take one avocado, like one medium avocado. You cut it open, you throw it in the salad, and then you take.
Is it E at the end?
Yeah, perfect. Well, avocado.
Okay.
The things that you make guacamole out of, just in case you want. Then we have tomato. We're going to put tomato. You get like 1 cup of tomato. You can use any kind of tomatoes you like. Just 1 cup, yellow tomatoes, green tomatoes, red tomatoes, whatever's in season.
Okay. Why?
You got your tomatoes. This is really good. You got 1 bunch of scallions. So you got the fresh scallions. You just get them on the cutting board, lay them out, dice it up into little pieces, dump it in the salad. Then we got.
Oh yes.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah,
all right. Then we got one for your seeds. We're gonna put like hemp seeds, which are a really good source of like protein. They have like a sesame, sunflower type of taste. You get like 1 cup of those. So you just get a bag of those, pour it into a cup, pour it on the salad. And then we got the seeds, got all that. Then celery, because it gives it like a nice crunchy, like hydrate. It just adds a whole bunch of elements to the salad.
Freshness, right?
So you're gonna put like taste. Yeah, it tastes really good too. So we're gonna put like 3 sticks of celery. 3 sticks of celery, like 3 pieces. Just dice them up, throw them in a salad. Then we got and then basically that's your salad. And then we're gonna make like a dressing now.
Okay. So
you can make this in the blender, or if you don't have a blender, you can just mix it all up in a bowl if you want. So in the I'm just gonna tell you how to make it. So the recipe, it's gonna be like 1/4 cup of olive oil, so like 2 ounces of olive oil. You could use 2 to 4 ounces if you like a lot more. You could add
virgin
more.
Olive oil,
Extra cold press.
Okay,
You want to get like a really good quality olive, like cold press, extra organic. Organic olive oil is very important. So we got olive oil, like cold press, so it's like all the healthy elements, healthy oils in the skin. All right. So then you get 1 lemon, and you squeeze the lemon. So you just take the lemon, you cut it in half, and you squeeze it, and you get like the juice of 1 lemon. So you get lemon juice.
Ooh, that's so fresh.
Yeah, fresh lemon juice.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And then you're going to get like a good salt. Like I like to use like Himalayan crystal salt or Celtic sea salt. You can get those at your health food store. Whatever, if you can't get those, whatever salt you have that's good in your house, you know, one teaspoon of salt, just to bring out the flavor, add like a salty element to the whole thing, kind of balances.
A little him, maybe a little brie.
Yeah, absolutely. The best salt you got. All right, and then we got cayenne pepper, like powder, like cayenne pepper, and you can use like half a teaspoon of that. And that's going to go into the dressing. You just dump that in your blender or in a bowl that you're mixing up to mix everything together. And then what you're going to want to do is then get like one bunch of parsley, fresh bunch of parsley. And you're just going to want to like take it and like take all the leaves off, and like you'll get the stems. And you can dice up some of the stems if you want to, throw it in. But really just the leaves, like the tops. So get like a bunch. And
now, what's that's good for digestion, parsley, and what else is it?
Yeah.
Because I really have had cravings for parsley.
It's a really good source of iron. And like the thing about like getting irons and greens is you got to eat it with like vitamin C, like lemon juice. But that's why I put it in the recipe, because it also helps to like break down all the vegetables, and you can get your body can use the iron in the vegetables really easily when there's lemon and oil. So. Yeah, because parsley, and it's really good for your blood purification, and it's got a lot of calcium too, which is good. So, yeah, this salad's really high in like calcium, magnesium, iron, really high in protein, high in omega fatty acids. And anybody have a question?
Would you put this in the juicer?
In the juicer, this whole salad?
Yeah.
You could juice if you wanted to make a juice.
No, I'm just curious whether you were doing a salad.
Yeah, this would be in a bowl. Yeah, so once you got this is a real dish. So once it's all in a bowl, then
so but everything that I experienced from before was the drink.
Yeah, you could make drinks too. You could also blend this if you have a really powerful blender. Take the whole thing, dump the oil. This is what you do normally. You dump the salad. Once the salad's done, once the dressing's done, take the dressing, dump it on top of the salad. Then like roll up your sleeves. Use your hands. Clean your hands with soap and water, and then squish it up like the kale and the olive oil and the avocado. Like squish it up like so it gets soft. Because most people like when you eat kale, it's really tough. So and you could just let it sit for like 5 minutes, and it's really like it's like marinated. It's like totally like. Easy to digest. It tastes like amazing, like great. All the flavors are mixed together. That's what you want to do. You can use tongs, but I use my hands because it's more fun.
And a bunch of the stuff right now we can have for free in our gardens, right? So the kale can be for free. Tomatoes right now. We've got some scallions that's growing in your backyard. We can give, I don't know what celery, but perhaps if you've got some citrus connections, know. And or the parsley, so that's kind of nice now to take advantage, right, of the season.
Oh yeah,
too, right?
Yeah, and try get everything local as much as you can, and from your local health food store or food co-op, and eat organic for you and the people on the planet. Come alive, and
our body's got life.
Living food. This is green life. So if you eat this, you're gonna feel full of life. And when you're green on the inside, you're clean on the inside.
Woo!
All right, thank you so much, and enjoy.
Yeah.
All right.
We can stay here and then we're about to this is American flag. It's so great to have a prop. I'm like really psyched to have this a part of our collection because you're worth it. You're worth it all. You're worth the organic.
Absolutely.
You're worth the good foods. You're worth the art, You live the art, guys,
Let's make that place something to be proud of.
Yes, absolutely. Pesticide free, Let's do this right, guys. We got kids, We got lots of people who really need a healthy environment. I know I do, and I know everybody else around me does.
Absolutely.
So let's do our job. Because, oh gosh, excuse me. I didn't realize I could foot clap so soon.
Your garlic, strong immune system.
Journey's coming back.
It's coming back.
The herbalist is coming back. David's coming back. So this is in honor of you, brothers and sisters out there. Our faithful lovers out there. Okay, all right, I think. Okay, woo! All right, we're really. Excuse me. We're really just expressing our nationalism today. I just met this lady from Pakistan, and I hope she's watching, because we really hope we're making a good impression on you. You know, this is what our hope is. So.
And remember, by all means, the global terrorists are centered in the Pentagon of the United States of ? In the Americas.
Yes. All right.
And don't forget the Festival of the Arts.
Absolutely. Or
to
the
assist
artist
us
walk
to come
on the
alive here at the fork in the road to pesticide-free zones.
So why don't you be one of those stars, you know, because we all
I'm
need
going
to be
to.
stars. Oh yeah, and I'm talking to everybody out there too. So that's great. I'm glad he's encouraged, and I too hope you two are encouraged. So it's our job to make sure that we got a good smile out of you, a little giggle, you know, a little some pulse of life out there, you know, because this is what. Don't be a zombie. All right. Okay. Okay, anyways, I just had to really say that, clarify. And so what can we say? You are watching Woodstock Television. Woodstock-tell-a